Alrighty everybody, welcome back to Dakota Farms Hay & Cattle. I know I haven't posted a video for a while. I've been extremely busy with a lot of stuff in life, so haven't just gotten, last year with hay season I focused more on putting my hay up than filming. So I'm going to try to do better with filming this year. So right now I'm getting ready for hay season. I have drained the engine oil out of the 105, and I just put the brand new filter on it. I went with Fleet Guard filters this time, compared to New Holland filters. There's the filter. Part number is LF17583 for the engine oil filter. And then your drain plugs. There's one drain plug for the engine oil. And then on the other side of the tractor, on the same area, there's the other drain plug. You'll have to do both of them since the drain plug is kind of in a half moon shape for the drive shaft. You'll have to take both sides off in order to get all the oil out of it. So I drained those. You'll use a H12 Allen to get the drain bolts out, and I'd use a filter wrench to get, there's the two fuel filters right here. Had to get two fuel filters off to get to the oil filter. So I've got Fleet Guard filters in the shop for the fuel filters. I'm going to go grab those, and I'm going to pre-fill those with diesel. So, and I'm using Shell Rotella T6 5W40 full synthetic on the tractor today. So let me get those fuel filters out here, and I'll give you the numbers to those fuel filters. Part numbers for your fuel filters for a Fleet Guard: it's FF5471 for the secondary. There's the number for the air filter, if y'all need an air filter. And then for your secondary fuel filter, it's FS19821. That's for your fuel water separator. You're going to have to take the little sensor off the old filter and put it on the new one. I'll show you how to do that. Alright, so basically what you're going to do here is you're going to take this little filter here. It shouldn't be this tight. You got to be careful with the threads. They're plastic threads. Okay, so this is the water sensor. It is, you got to be very careful with this thing because as you can see there, they're made of little plastic threads. So you want to be very careful not to strip this out. I ended up needing two hands to get the old one off. But you got your new one there. You just stick it down in there, thread it on. And like I said, you're going to want to just go till it stops. You don't want to try to tighten it too much. And that's plenty. Check it, make sure it doesn't leak. I gotta take the rest of the wrapping off this filter. But you'll fill these with fuel, and then you'll plug that back in. The little plug's right there. You just plug that back in, and then your other filter, your other fuel filter doesn't have anything on the bottom of it. You'll just fill that one full of fuel and set it on there. Alrighty, so I got both fuel filters changed. Right there. Oil filter's on. Drain plugs are tight. And your oil fill is on this side. Oil fill's right there. Put a little over 2 gallons in it. Showing full on the dipstick. I'm gonna crank it up, and it might take a minute to crank, because it's got to bleed the air out of the fuel lines. But if you pre-filled your filters, you shouldn't have to worry about that too much. So let's start it up. And it should crank up. Okay. It fired right up. Let it run for just a minute. I'm gonna get out and check for leaks. I forgot to plug that back in, that's why that code's on the dash. I'll plug that back in when I shut it off. No leaks over there by the oil filter. No leaks by the drain plugs. No leaks right there. Alright, shut it off, and then I'll plug that sensor back in. That'll get rid of that code. That's why I completely forgot to plug it back in. That's my fault. It won't hurt anything. It just knows there's a sensor unplugged. I'll plug that sensor back in. I'll let it sit for a couple minutes, let all the oil settle back down, and then I'll check the oil level, make sure it's good. And then this one will be ready to go, and that's a fuel filter change and an oil and filter change. Alrighty. I got the oil put in the tractor, and oil level's right. Oil level's right on the max mark, on the full mark. So that's good. Plenty of oil. Started up, it ran. I topped it off a little bit. I clipped that sensor back on there. And this machine's good to go for hay season. So I don't have anything else to do to it at the moment. It was mainly just a fuel filter change and oil change. I changed the air filter last fall, but I have an extra one of those in the shop if it gets dirty and I need to change it. So now I got to do a little bit of work on the 50 over there, and then both of these two machines will be ready for hay season this year. I'm putting my 50 over there. It needs a new seat on it. So that's what I'm going to start on next, is getting that seat installed on that tractor. So I hope to do more filming this year, videoing more of what goes on around here. I haven't made a video on it yet, but I got a new truck over the winter for pulling the tractors around and hauling the trailer. So that one's a diesel. So I'll make a video on that truck more in depth once I drive it a little bit more. But that's all for today. Thanks for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and follow for more.